So last week on the show, we were talking with Leslie. Leslie from Agape UK, by the way. Hey, that sort of rhymes.
You're on form this morning, Gareth.
What is your favourite Christmas song? And we decided that we could actually list them off, and then you got involved towards the end of the show as well. Good morning, Leslie.
Good morning, Gareth. How are you on this frosty morn?
Well, we've just had the bill for the electric through, and to be honest, I think things will get a little bit colder here in the studio. Let's just put it that way in future days.
But the company is warm. The company is warm.
The company is on fire, Leslie. It's not just warm, it's absolutely burning through the UK. So we're talking today, and we're keeping on that topic of, Christmas feel and our favourite things about Christmas, which in fact is the question today. What do you like most about Christmas? And I put this out to our listeners, and a few of them have been in touch. So we've had a message in from Les, and he says, my favourite thing about Christmas is basically the preparations for it. But the problem I have is I start going on a bit of a Davy Downer after Christmas. A lot of people do that, don't they?
Yeah. It's all the anticipation. It's exciting. And then January is hard, often really hard. Once you've got beyond the all the highlights of Christmas, it's a challenge, I think.
Now, I'm just presuming that your tree isn't up yet, because I can see a room in your home and there's nothing festive in there.
No. This weekend, the festivities will arrive in our house, Gareth. I'm always 2 weeks before Christmas is when it all goes up.
So let's ask you, first of all, what's your favourite thing about Christmas?
Yeah, so I think my favourite thing, and this is just a question from our Christmas conversation starters for today. My favourite thing is getting together with family. And it was one of those things that I think was highlighted through the pandemic, because the thing that we missed was being with family. And so you realise what do you miss the most if everything's stripped away? Probably that's one of your favourite things. And for me, it's absolutely about family. Last week when we talked about favourite songs, I said that Driving Home for Christmas, Chris Rea, is one of my favourite songs. But it's all because I have so many memories of driving home for Christmas to see my family. And so family is absolutely, I think, my favourite thing. But it's interesting, isn't it? Because family is often also a great could be a great challenge at Christmas.
It can. And so for you now, as a mum to older children, how has it changed over the years? Because clearly that excitement for you is still there about Christmas, but presumably it's not the same. So you're not up at the crack of dawn and you're all downstairs opening presents. I don't know. Maybe you still are.
Yeah, no, I don't miss the 7 o'clock. My kids are well trained from a very young age that the day doesn't start till 7. Anything before 7 is still yesterday. So they were well trained, and I do not miss the 7 o'clock starts on a Christmas morning. But yeah, actually, I've been really fortunate that our kids still want to come home for Christmas. We still love it. In fact, we'll be together again this Christmas, and it's really lovely. So yeah, it is a bit different now. But my kids want all the traditions, even though they're in their 20s. They're expecting all of the traditions of that they grew up with.
And it is a lot about traditions, isn't it? And it's the thing that Christmas, I guess, is the only time when we know that the whole country will be celebrating the same thing at that time. So, well, even if you don't celebrate Christmas, you appreciate that Christmas Day is the 25th and Christmas Eve the 24th. There's no other occasion during the year where everybody in the world knows that that's what's happening at that time of the year. And that's what I love about it, because there'll be different traditions, there'll be different foods being eaten, but it's all to celebrate Christmas. And for me, my favourite thing about Christmas is, I think it's those days before when things go into a bit of a lockdown. But, well, that is a phrase that has got no positive connotations anymore.
True.
But what I mean is that you leave work, or you hopefully leave work a few days before Christmas, and you sort of sign off and you think, right, that's it. And then you've got potentially the carol services to go to. And for me, one of the big things, and I've not done this for, it must be nearly 3 years now, and I'm so looking forward forward to it is going to midnight mass
Yeah.
church. And for me, that there's something so beautiful and magical about that, because it's almost a thing of, it is Christmas, but it's not officially Christmas till I've slept.
Right. Yeah, I love that. I remember I used to go with my dad regularly to the Christmas Eve midnight mass, and it's just a beautiful way to start Christmas. There's a sense of, it's been very, very busy in December running up to Christmas. There's been a lot of activity, and then there's kind of like this still point at midnight mass of kind of everything quietens down, and it's like the stillness and remembering the simplicity of the coming of a baby, the birth of a baby in a very humble circumstances. But that changes the whole world. And it's like that moment of peace and reflection just before then the craziness of opening up presents on Christmas Day and the dinner and all the fun. And I love it. I love all of it, actually. I love Christmas. But there is something really wonderful about going to a service on Christmas Eve just to kind of reflect and have that peaceful moment.
You see, you're at that point now, aren't you, where it doesn't matter how late you're up on Christmas Eve, because you will get sort of a lie-in on Christmas Day morning. For me, there is a bit of a panic that now sets in. So we do a bit of the wrapping before we go to church, and usually Sam doesn't go to church because she's busy still wrapping. And with a newborn baby, that certainly won't be happening this year. But then you get back home and you start finishing things off, and then you realize it's like 2 a.m. You're literally up in the next 5 hours, and you have to start sticking the turkey in at 9 a.m. in the morning. And there's that panic. But then for me, I love it when the relatives start arriving. And we've always hosted Christmas. So at our house, my father-in-law comes over, my brother-in-law, and my brother, my parents. And it's just that thing of getting together. And I really can't wait. But we often hear this phrase, and I wonder if you could explain what this means. The Prince of Peace. And Jesus is referred to as the Prince of Peace. And it's our prayer, both Agape's and Connect's, that you have a real peaceful Christmas. But what does it mean, Leslie?
That's it's a great question, Gareth, because I think, because it's, we talk about family coming together at Christmas, and, and what I love about it is not just your small family, it's like your whole family, and it's all about people coming together. But actually, for a lot of people, those family dynamics are not easy, are they? It's not necessarily all joyful, and it can be a little bit tricky. I can imagine if the Windsors were together this Christmas, the dynamics could be a little bit tricky. But Jesus is called the Prince of Peace, and he comes into the world to bring us peace and hope in our relationships. And I think for me, this is one of the beautiful things about who Jesus is, that he came to restore relationships, to bring peace into our relationships, restore our relationship with him, but also to restore our relationships with one another. And it's possible through knowing Jesus and walking with him and experiencing his peace in our lives. He brings peace in a personal way into our lives, and don't we all need his peace in our lives? But he also brings peace into our relationships. And we have got a ministry called Family Life, and our Family Life work talks a lot about how to restore relationships, how to bring peace and health into your relationships. And the couple who started this work many years ago, theirs is a beautiful story of how God brought peace into their relationship as a couple, because their marriage was in tatters, really, and they were really heading for divorce until they both encountered Jesus. And as they both discovered Jesus in their lives, something really beautiful happened as they both moved towards knowing Jesus. He didn't just bring peace in their relationship with him, he brought peace in their relationship with one another. And they're a thriving couple. They're a normal couple. They talk in very real ways about the things in their marriage, like we all do. But actually, there's a demonstration in their marriage. And I think in all of our relationships, we can have a demonstration of what it means for the Prince of Peace, the person who reigns over us, who is the King, actually, but he brings peace into our lives. And it's possible to know peace, not just personally, but peace in our relationships with one another through knowing him.
And this is just one of many resources which are available for free through Agape UK. So first of all, take a trip to their website, agape.org.uk, and there's loads of resources up there. But tell us in particular about this one, which is the Family Life Resource, because as you said, it can be a tricky time for many people, Christmas, because, maybe families are a bit broken up and, you have to be polite, even though every bone in your body is screaming and saying, this person's done me wrong. This person said that about me. And it's so hard. So any resources we can get our hands on, which will maybe help bridge those relationships, we need them.
Yeah, if you go to Family Life UK, or if you go to our website, like you said, Gareth, on our at home section in our website is all our Family Life resources, and Family Life UK on Instagram are always posting things and ideas. And we run things called A Day Together, where couples can go and sort of invest in their relationship with one another. So yeah, check out our Family Life website and our Family Life UK Instagram, and you'll start to sort of see some great sort of helpful things on there that we hope that would be really helpful to you. But really, our prayer for all your listeners, Gareth, is that they would encounter something. If they don't know Jesus, that they will experience something of Him and the hope in Him in their relationship with Him this Christmas.
And if you'd like to get in touch with the team at Agape, because maybe we've spoken about something and you think, hold on a minute, who is this Jesus fella? Then the team are on hand actually to answer those questions and to support you through hopefully what will become a relationship with Jesus. And believe it or not, they're a great team. You can go to Agape,
believe it or not,
agape.org.uk. And they're a great team who will help you with, understanding who Jesus is. And it will be one of the most incredible transformations of your life when you accept Jesus into it. And, Leslie could tell you all about her testimony, and you probably know mine already. Well, all us presenters here, we're Christian, and our lives have been transformed because of this relationship. So maybe Christmas time is when that happens for you. So head over to the website. You can contact them there. They're on all the socials as well. It is agape.org.uk. Thank you very much, Leslie. You take care.
Thank you, Gareth. See you next week.
Aren't you?
I am on next week.
I feel like I need to ask all our guests this, because some of them say, no, we're not on next week. That's it for our Christmas break. So you're on next week. And then the week after that, I think you go on a Christmas break.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, those will be all Christmas by then, Gareth.
I'll just write that down in my little diary.